Sometimes the dark, mysterious mines have some terrifying creatures that could haunt your dreams forever. But not this one.
Welcome to the Not So Scary Podcast, where we discuss tales, creatures, and legends that did not keep us up at night.
Hi everyone, I'm one of your hosts, Trix.
And I'm your other host, Chris.
Tell me, other host, have you heard of the MUKI?
El Buki?
MUKI with an M.
Los Bukis? Okay.
Are they a band?
Los Bukis?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Every time it's something new with you. So Los Bukis, like the lead singer looks like Jesus.
What?
Oh my God. Okay, anywho, that's...
What's the genre?
It's like old school, like...
Rock?
No, it's like Latino, like, you know, like the ballad. It's a ballad band, like Spanish ballad. Los Bukis. You've never heard of Los Bukis? That's crazy. Your mom would know who they are for sure.
I highly doubt it. I'll ask her.
Oh, that's why. Your mom listened to good music? No, I'm kidding. Los Bukis?
My mom,
No.
my mom listened to disco. So I know, and she listened to Motley Crue a lot.
Okay, so you had a cool mom. That's wild. Yeah, I grew up listening to Los Bukis, Los Temerarios. They go on and on.
Spanish music for me was Camilo Sesto. Who else did my grandma Celia Cruz, obviously.
Okay.
But that was from my grandma, and then I had to kind of find my own way into Spanish music later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Every Sunday, dude, it's time to clean. Fucking get the cumbias going all loud.
Yeah. I mean, I did experience that with my friends. A lot of my friends were from El Salvador, and
I'm not from El Salvador.
Well, neither am I. But and then they would put like Mark Anthony.
My cousin would do Mark Anthony, which is a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Los Bukis, Los Mukis, and then
Mukis with an M.
No, Bukis with the B.
Bukis with the B. Okay.
Yeah, but Mookie Betts is a baseball player that plays for the Dodgers right now.
Really?
Yeah, Mookie Betts. Yeah, Mookie Betts.
Okay.
Right? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
yeah, but yeah, he's a player right now.
Okay, well, there are songs, but I don't think it's about this specific Muki. And I don't think I want to know what Muki means in the context of the songs. Because they sound kind of weird. And MUQUI I've seen it spelled with a K and a QUI, so I'm not entirely sure which one's the correct spelling for this specific creature. But I accidentally found him under folklore creatures that love drugs and alcohol. So that
Hell yeah.
And I am here to defend him.
Oh.
And in turn make him not scary. I don't think he's a scary creature. And and also another important fact about our MUQUI creature, is that he's classified as a duende.
Oh, okay.
Which our first episode of this show was supposed to be about the duendes, but my microphone did not work. And the audio is super shitty. So that's why we didn't put it up. And I don't know if we'll ever put it up, but it's a great episode.
You'll never know though, so it's amazing. Just know
it's amazing.
It's one of the best ones.
You would love it. It's the best episode we recorded.
It would have been our biggest episode ever, but we didn't do it because we're thinking about everybody.
My fucking microphone.
We're thinking about everybody else's podcast. We're like, we don't want to outshine anybody.
So the surface level stuff that we know about El MUQUI Duende is that he is from Peru, and he roams the mines of Peru. And he fucks with the miners if they disrespect his space, because he's a hard worker and he knows where all the gold is. And what I love about this creature is that across the board, he has the same description. So the Peruvians know El MUQUI very, very well. He's a duende, so he's small. He has no neck. He has white hair and a white beard. And he has horns, but I'm a little confused as to how they know he has horns, because every description I saw of him, he had a hat. So unless the horns go through the hat, he wobbles a little bit because his body is very disproportionate. And I think his most amazing aspect is that in order for him to leave you alone, You need to offer him Coke and alcohol and maybe some fruit too, because he likes fruit. He's a little healthy. And by Coke, I don't mean the soda, obviously. And before this, I was so ignorant to what the Coke plant looked like.
It looks like a regular plant.
It looks like a regular ass plant. Yeah, now like my search is like all Coke plants.
Jesus. Dude, that's like the most Peruvian thing ever.
It is the most Peruvian thing ever. Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I know like they grab the plant and they put it in their teeth.
They chew it.
Yeah. And then that's how they get energy. Well, like
well, I think it has to do with the elevation.
Wow.
And it's also like very healthy. So like whoever made the powder with like 90% rat poison and like baking soda, it was just like, what are you doing? Like you just chew the leaf. Just chew the leaf. Like, what are you doing?
You're accelerating the process. You're making it more fun.
Go get the leaf. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not here to judge anyone's choices in, how they have fun in their life.
Do leaves, though.
but I'm also here to tell you to do the leaves.
Do the leaf instead. Do the green, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So our duende is obviously all about the leaves. None of that processed shit. So there are 3 popular stories that he has that I was able to find, and you will see how absolutely none of them, in none of these stories, he does anything bad. So I don't know why he's under horror legends. He shouldn't be in there.
He takes all the Coke.
But I mean, if he steals all the Coke, maybe he could be like a horror legend.
And all the gold.
And the alcohol. Don't forget, he likes alcohol too.
Oh, yeah, you see. That's why he's walking all limpy and stuff, because he's drunk.
That's why he wobbles, not because his body's disproportionate. he's like,
drunk. And then he puts the cocoa leaves in his
drunk and high as shit.
Yeah, trying to sober up, but he's just canceling it out. Like, oh boy, dang. I like him.
Yeah. I know, he's awesome. So let me tell you the first story, and you'll already see how silly this is. Are you ready?
Yes.
So once upon a subterranean time, somewhere in the mines of Peru, there was a group of 13 workers. They've been working all day, so they were getting really tired. The leader of the group took an executive decision and told his workers to rest up. They weren't doing anyone a favor by working until they were exhausted. So he suggested all of them should rest for a little bit and then start once they felt ready. I don't know shit about miners or how all of that operates, but according to this story, they all huddled up together and took a nap. A few minutes into their nap, they were awakened by some strange sound coming from the distance. They all looked at each other confused. The leader decided to take roll call, so he shouted their names and each one of them would answer. All 13 of them were accounted for. So what was that weird noise? As if someone was working. So they all started to freak out. The leader, being the great leader that he is, chose someone else to go take a look into the dark part of the mine that they couldn't see. The poor worker, shaking with fright, nodded and slowly made his way into the small opening into the place that they were working in with a small lantern. It didn't take long before the worker came running back, screaming frantically that he saw a tiny creature with horns. And the most terrifying part was that he was finishing their work. And for some reason, that scared them so much. But the leader was a leader, and he needed to prove that his worker was telling the truth because it sounded so outlandish. So they all went together this time, but they didn't find anything. So the leader told the worker to go home and take a few days off. And to this day, nobody believed that dude. The end. So what did he do wrong? Tell me what he did wrong. He was just helping them as they took a nap.
Well, what happened was the boss is paying all these people to do nothing. And he could just save money with this one guy. What do you mean? No,
but again, he didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, why was it so scary?
Because there's like 13 guys, right?
Oh,
They're all supposed to be working.
so it's scary for the 13. So it's like AI, like they're getting replaced.
Well, it's also scary for it was scary for the boss because the boss was like, all right, I just have one guy do this job. I'll pay him $1.
Well, that's not scary for the boss. The boss wants to pay him $1.
Yeah, it was scary because he's like, oh, I was paying these guys this much money.
He was scared that he lost so much money on labor.
Yeah, I gotta save. And I was scary for the guys. They're like, oh, no, we don't have a job.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess it is a horror story.
No, kidding. It's not at all.
I know. So the second story, I found this one on a really cool account called Cuentan los Abuelos. So grandparents say, or grandparents tell us. Yeah, I guess. Which reminded me, it reminded me of what I had pitched you before we started making this podcast. I wanted to name our podcast like stories my grandma used to tell me, and then you started making fun of me by adding more words. You're like, stories my grandma used to tell me at 10 p.m. at night.
It's so long.
But someone already had like the shorter, cooler version of this anyway. So this story also ends with something along the lines of this story is super true because grandparents never lie. That's how this story ends. And I was like, I mean, grandparents lie all the fucking time. So
this source is already fucking up.
Yeah, this source is already fucking up.
This is already lost.
It's already not true.
Yeah, I already don't want to listen to it.
So yeah, I don't know what to make of this story at all. So our family consists of the father, Don Demetrio, and his son, Amaru. And Amaru is 8 years old. And I think Don Demetrio is super old because they refer to him as un anciano.
Yeah. Ancient. No kidding.
Yeah, which literally, I think, isn't it ancient? Is it ancient?
Un anciano is usually like senior.
Yeah, it's like old.
Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like, you might as well be a dinosaur.
Might as well just die already.
You're just dust walking around. Like, Sir Patrick Stewart is un anciano.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say no, but I'm like, yeah.
He is, yeah. Anyway, so Don Demetrio is un anciano with an 8-year-old kid.
That's his grandson?
Yeah, I think it's his grandson.
The way you said it, I don't know.
Yeah. But I don't think he's un anciano, and you'll see why. You'll see why right now. So Don Demetrio one day sent Amaru to go get some water from the river so they could have their soup that night, as Don Demetrio cooked the potatoes and whatever else for that soup. So after a few hours, Don Demetrio was wondering what was taking Amaru so long, so he went outside. He called him a few times, and that didn't work. So he walked around towards the river where they would get the water. He was stunned when he saw Amaru was playing with a MUQUI. So he lunged himself at the MUQUI and had him pinned down, and the MUQUI, since he was caught by surprise, he couldn't escape. So he negotiated with Don Demetrio. The MUQUI knows the mines really well, and he will work for Don Demetrio as long as he frees him, which I don't think makes any sense. But Don Demetrio agreed, and so now he's super rich off the free labor of the MUQUI. So again, I don't understand why that's a horror story.
This sounds like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, right. It's
the old man is Gandalf. The 8-year-old is what's his name? Frodo. And then MUQUI is what's his name? Schmeagol? Gollum.
Oh, Gollum.
It all makes sense. It just fit when you were telling me. I was like, oh, damn.
That's true. That's where the Lord of the Rings came from.
And he knew the caves because he was going to throw the ring into the... I'm going to butcher this, and I know Tim's going to kick my ass. It's so squishy.
He's going to... Yeah, my husband's going to kick your ass.
Yeah, my husband...
And so it's squishy.
Yeah. So they grab the ring, they throw it into the lava pits. And then Gandalf got rich. No, and then he became the Great White Wizard, or Grey Wizard.
That is absolutely not. He had to die to become that. Anyway, I'm not getting into Lord of the Rings. Right? I know I am that.
He had to die.
He sacrificed a lot. Okay. But yeah, so again, not a horror story.
He hired a MUKI. I don't know what you're talking about. Crazy.
I know. So, but yeah, these stories are just telling me that you could bully MUKI to work for you for free.
Or
it's
Dobby?
just, I don't know. So maybe our last story will convince us that he's a horror legend. Although I highly doubt that. So our last story takes place in Yanahuanca, Peru, which looks absolutely beautiful. And I want to go there so badly. It just looks like I'm breathing fresh air just by looking at the pictures.
Yana.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to say it in English so that you understand. Yanahuanca. There's an H.
I can't even say it. Yeah, I know. It's going to be 30 minutes of us. If y'all know how to say it.
Yanahuanca.
Well, you can't type it out. Yanahuanca.
What, you don't pronounce the H. You don't pronounce the H in Spanish.
Yanahuanca?
Yanahuanca.
Yanahuanca.
Yes.
Oh.
It's beautiful. Anyway. In this story, our main character is widowed. He is the father of a 7-year-old son. So the dad is a minor. And when his wife passed away, his son was just such a terrible kid that no one wanted to take care of him. So that made it tough for the dad to go to work. Being left with no other option, he would take his son and tell him to stay close by where he can see him. But we all know that's not how it went down. One Tuesday, and that's in the actual story for some reason. I did not just make this day up. On Tuesday, the kid asked his dad if he can buy a trompe. A trompe in Spanish is a top toy.
It's a trompo.
Trompo?
Yeah, it's a Mexican trompo is the spinning top.
Yeah, the spinning top. Yeah. But Peruvian. So he asked his dad to buy him a trompo, a spinning top toy made of wood. And the dad was confused because no one liked his son. He knew that he didn't have any friends. So he was surprised but delighted that his kid was asking him for this toy to play with someone. And so he assumed that it was one of the other kids from his coworkers. As the days went by, his kid would tell him about his friend and how they loved playing in this pit that was close by. Every day, his kid would take something new as a gift for his new friend. So one day, the dad grew suspicious, and this was all too much and too weird, so he decided to go where the kid told him that they were playing. He was super surprised when he got there and he saw El MUQUI. With the white hair and golden skin that shone bright like actual gold. So they locked eyes and fear ran through the dad's body, thinking that the MUQUI was obviously going to kill him for some strange reason. Immediately, he took his kid and went home, locked them up, and he was super paranoid. He told his kid that his little play dates were over with that thing. He wasn't even human. And the kid, obviously all alone with no friends, no mom, was really upset and he didn't understand. So the kid got really sick. He got really depressed and he didn't want to eat anymore. He didn't want to play by himself. And it was just really bad. So obviously this was witchcraft from the MUQUI. So the dad consulted one of the town's curanderos who knew everything about the MUQUI. And he told the dad that the MUQUI had his son under a spell because El MUQUI gets gold. And now he requires payments for the work that he put in, which I didn't understand. So the next morning, the dad went to the spot with some Coke, alcohol, and fruit and told the MUQUI to leave his son alone. And that did the trick, apparently. So I'm not sure if the kid, was able to make friends and live a normal life after that. Because to me, he finally found a friend and his dad was like, no, you can't play with him because he's
don't play with him. He's a fucking freak.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Get away from that fucking freak.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
It's so fucked up, dude.
This guy does nothing but good, but you just get shit on.
He like finished the job of the people who were super tired and couldn't do it anymore. Then he works for free as a slave for this other homie.
Yeah.
Got someone rich, and then now he like befriended this little kid who needed a friend after his mom died, and no one liked him.
You're a fucking freak.
Yeah, so
that's it, dude. That's so mean.
It's so mean. So, yeah. And then I found some like real stories about him, but again, none of them made any sense.
I got rich. I think we got to find this guy.
I know.
I think we got to go to Yanahuaca.
Yanahuaca. Yeah, I don't know. If I don't see it, I get Yanahuaca, Peru. Absolutely. We're going there.
We got to go there. We got to find them.
We're chewing some plants. We're taking some shots. We're getting some gold. We're going to have a good time with them.
We're going to be rich. Next time you guys hear us, this podcast will be rich.
We'll have the MUKI as the third host.
But you guys won't see him because he's ugly.
That's so fucked up. So to make him actually scary,
make him good looking.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
People are like, he's too good looking. Don't get close to him.
He's too good looking. Yeah, if he was like a good looking adult man, I guess I don't know.
No. Like, he'll probably do your job half-ass.
Yeah, I think if you half-ass your job and he's there, he like chops you up or something, or like if you disrespect the mines and you steal gold.
True. If you disrespect the mines, that'll be a good one.
Yeah. He also knows how to make people disappear in the mines.
Buries them.
Yeah. I also think we should bring him into the subways. Like it's subterranean. So anything like underground, I think that's his hood. You know, he knows that very well.
What if he feels like you're getting close to his gold, and then he's like, "Oh, hey," gives you some warnings. You get close to his gold because he knows where the gold's at, right? Yeah,
he knows where the gold is at. And but if you give him coke and alcohol, he gives you some gold.
Yeah, but we're making him scary.
Yeah.
So if you get close to his gold, he'll kick your ass and probably eat you, whatever, or bite your ankles, whatever he does. I don't know. But if you give him a peace offering, which is you party with him, because he has no friends, because he's a freak. I'm kidding.
It's just true. It's so messed up.
So you party with him, you give him coke, you give him a little bottle. He's like, "Hey, dog, come over here. Come over here." Come over here. And he gives you a bit of gold. He's like, "Oh, damn." But then you gotta leave because then when he sobers up, he's an asshole.
Okay, so maybe sober he could kill you, but then so you need to give him the good stuff, and then he's like he gives you gold. But then you have to leave before he sobers up.
He's just what is it called? He's fiending for the fucking drug,
He's what?
He's fiending.
Oh,
he needs it. He's craving it. And when you give it to him, he's like, "Hi, guys. I'm actually a cool guy."
Yeah, never mind. I don't know how much I like this. We're like,
he has the shakes. He's just all.
Yeah, no, never mind. I'm gonna. I don't know if I want to help an addict be more of an addict.
Yeah, but you get money.
That's all that matters.
He's an addict. I just thought about that. You said it.
Yeah, he's an addict.
Because you give him the stuff and he's like, goes away.
Now we need to make him go to rehab. But see, now it just turns sad again.
No, it didn't.
What makes him scary? What if he's in the subway and he's like disturbing the schedules of all the trains in New York? That's terrifying. Yeah.
That's terrible. But I mean, like, if people knew he was down there, they like build around him, right?
No. See, that's why he would be upset. He would come after you if you disrespect.
But then he'll come after you when you guys are building like the subway.
Yeah.
So if the subway's done, I feel like if people
So
go down there,
that's why in Los Angeles, the Wilshire line, I think it's Purple Line or I don't know. There's been a line that's been worked on for like 20 years, and that's probably why it hasn't finished, because the MUKI is really upset and they haven't given him his Coke and his alcohol and his fruit. Let's not forget he likes fruit, so he's healthy.
He's a little healthy, so he's a Hollywood star. That's what you're telling me. He's a Hollywood actor. It's just
absolutely, he's in that Hollywood diet for sure. For sure.
Oh my god, this guy just gets worse than what
I know. We're not making him scarier. We're just making him worse.
No, this is worse. He is scary now.
No, he hasn't killed anyone. Like, who would he kill? Or who would he like go after? I don't know. There needs to be something that's like, I'm not gonna step in the subway because the MUKI is there.
His gold. I mean, yeah, like if his gold's down there, because he knows where the gold's at. Get close to his gold, which is his script. I don't know.
He's like, I wrote this screenplay.
I wrote this precious. It's the fourth Lord of the Rings. I don't know. It's like the best thing ever, but we just don't know what it is because he just want to share it.
That's true. I like that his gold is not actual gold. It's like
something means a lot to him.
Okay, so I don't think we made this one scary.
Not even close. You made him sadder.
He's just too fun. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like normal. Like we made him sad.
Yeah, he's normal.
We made him sad, but before that, he was a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a cool dude
that wants friends. I feel
he wants friends. He's a hardworking.
Maybe
dude.
Some stories don't need to be scary. Maybe this guy just needs to be...
Not for this podcast. And this podcast is where we make them scary.
Make him an actor. His house went under.
If we make him an actor and then he stops working hard because he's an actor, he gets everything he ever needs. So he has all the Coke leaves. He's got all the alcohol. He's got all the fruit. And so now he's just like this little asshole running around.
You're right.
And then he just starts like going after like unions.
Oh.
And like
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, like he starts like he's like, let's just use AI for everything, guys.
Oh god.
Like fuck the actors, fuck the writer. Like AI could just take care of all of that.
AI will make everything perfect.
Yeah, AI will make everything, and then he's just chewing on the leaves and like drinking alcohol. He's like, AI's gonna do everything. Yeah.
He's just a little fucking.
Because he is now all powerful. He's like the CEO of his subterranean production company. And so now he's just like, fuck all the humans.
That's funny.
Yeah. And so now he's just like pro like AI and
against rights and everything. Like
against rights, like fuck unions.
Kids have to work 15-hour days.
Yeah, put those kids to work. Yeah, I worked when I was
I worked for kids.
Yeah, kids could work. They have more energy than adults.
Yeah, give them a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Full of sugar. Yeah.
And then he just destroys all of Hollywood. See, we made him terrifying.
That is terrifying now. Yeah. And now everything you get, all the music, all the movies you get, it's AI slop.
AI slop that he approves of.
Yeah.
So everything has to be approved by him.
Yeah.
While he's high and drunk. Yeah. But still eating his fruit.
True, because he has to keep that figure.
He's got it.
I don't know what figure he has.
I don't know. Apparently he doesn't have a really nice figure.
He's just waddling around. Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Yeah. Okay, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
It took a while, but we got there.
We got there.
We were like, this guy's just so nice.
I know. He's such a hard worker. He's just like friends with this kid who no one wants to be friends with.
He's helping people work, making people rich.
Yes. He's so scary. Okay. Well, thank you, Chris, for helping me make this guy scarier.
I didn't do anything. I just listened.
What? Well, thanks for listening, and thank you, listeners, for listening too.
Yeah.
What's our next episode, Chris?
El Buki.
Our music is done by Killer Worms. Our art is done by Squishy Panda and Ghostface Wizard. And for all the nerds, reference links are in the show notes. Thanks so much for listening.